here sitting on the deck of Thekla with Dave from Gang of Youths. Welcome to UBTV. Thekla. Well, I know you guys are from Australia, and you guys have moved to London recently?
Moved to London, yeah. So, I mean, it's fairly recently. The four of the other guys in the band have been living here since, I guess, April last year. I think the reason why we're still able to do what we do is because we haven't really changed our style or capitulated much to the market that we're trying to attack. I don't know, I think what worked for us in Australia was just kind of being a rock band that cared about shit and tried to write things that were meaningful and helpful and yada yada yada, and I think that like translates to anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think the differences in culture between Australia, the US and the UK are so fucking vastly different that it's not at least a little bit translatable.
Yeah, well, you guys released, talking about music that's kind of more heartfelt, you guys released Your Heart Is a Muscle not that long ago, as a single. Yeah. That's a really evocative track, and you can tell it's spoken to a lot of people. Where did that kind of come from, that song?
I don't know, I went through a really rough divorce, and I was pretty young at the time, and I think I sort of wrote myself off and wrote the whole process of actually loving and caring about someone in that romantic kind of sense for a long time. And I think over a period of really interacting, I have these two best friends, Ben and Jess, and they're married. And over interacting with them over like a few years, I sort of recognized how vital and maybe healing good love can be, as opposed to like the really shitty, sterile, horrible versions that traumatize you and fuck you up real bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I think it was kind of my journey of like moving from this very infantile adolescent hatred of intimacy to try and like expand myself a little bit and open up and not be so bitter and not be so caustic about something I didn't really understand.
That's a real good outlet though.
Yeah,
through
yeah,
music.
exactly. Yeah. And it's sort of like, instead of wanting to be this fucking bitter, acerbic, cynical person who just kind of like used existentialism as a way to fucking denigrate things that matter to people, I wanted to be the kind of person who like, I don't know, wanted to help people build, I guess, tolerance to shit, tolerance to trauma, and like develop some real like, I don't know, gusto and strength and shit that feels more valuable to me. I don't know. So
what do you reckon you'd be doing if you weren't doing Gang of Youths right now? If you weren't doing music, construction. Yeah, it's a very Aussie response.
No, just something with my hands. I don't know, like, I've been thinking about this a lot. My wife and I talk about this a lot, like how utterly unimportant in so many respects, like what I do really is in the grand scheme of things. When you compare it to something that's really vital, like building houses for the poor, or being a teacher, or being a doctor, or a firefighter. So I think in so many ways, like what I do is like in such a privileged position, like a job, but it is just a job, and it's a fucking good job. I think there's a sense of fraudulence that kind of comes with the territory of what I do, and I could probably do anything, to be honest. if it's something that's in some way like doing something positive to contribute to the lives of someone, I'd probably do it. Like my wife does something really amazing. She's a hairstylist, and I think that everyone needs a haircut.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's kind of a beautiful thing that she does, and it's creative, but it also has some real beautiful purpose in someone's life. It can really enrich someone's livelihood, and I think that's really good. So.
Yeah. What? So who have you guys toured with in the past? Like, who have you kind of been partnered with?
So many people.
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of bands that we've really loved touring with, like, there's been fucking heaps. Like, we've done festival tours with a band called Whitney. Whitney, they're an American band from Chicago.
Cool.
Like outstanding people. Like really, really cool people. We've toured with a lot of really amazing, fucking nice and talented human beings. It's sort of weird. Like I toured with Chris Cornell years and years ago, and that sort of made me want to become infinitely better at my job than what I was. And so it's sort of like when you tour with people who are just so much better, which we do constantly, it's sort of like, I don't know, it's pretty good. It enables you to, I don't know, want to stretch your capacity and actually do really, really fucking good shit with your job.
Well, what I wanted to talk to you about, and you don't have to go into this by all means, but a big discussion.
I'll probably go into it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But there's a lot of discussion at the moment, especially at University of Bristol, around mental health, and we've got a lot of issues going on. You guys have been quite outspoken in interviews before, and even through your music about kind of like why do you think it's so important to talk about mental health and kind of bring it?
I don't know, man. It's important because if we don't talk about it, people could die.
Yeah.
Or people could suffer greatly, and I don't want people to suffer. I think suffering is like at the core of what a mental health issue really is. Suffering is like the one thing we don't want people to have to endure.
Yeah.
And I think there's a shared consciousness that we all need to enjoy together when it comes to things like mental health, because I think it's one bonding and uniting thing in our society, especially in like wealthy, privileged societies where we sort of perceive any of our issues as somehow lesser than places in the global south or developing nations or whatever. But I think just as human beings, we all owe it to each other and ourselves to consider our mental health. The shared experience thing is something I think is the most underrated fucking part of what playing live is. And I think I've sort of gone through this period of like not loving touring because of just the amount of like family and financial pressure it puts on you and like kind of all that thing, and just the mental pressure that I think I'm constantly under when touring. But that shared experience, that like mode of being, I always say it's like being in communion with people.
Yeah.
Like trying to break down this fucking weird barrier between me and like a person coming to see. I think that's like a really beautiful, cool thing. I don't know. Like I remember going to shows and feeling lighter.
Yeah.
Feeling like a little bit more understood.
But singing along with other people as well, that feeling of being with like 100 people and all you're yelling out the same words, it's amazing. You get such a rush.
I always talk about the hardcore punk scene because that was really cathartic for me. Going to a No Apologies show in Sydney or a Bad Blood show in Sydney, just shouting fucking lyrics out like with a bunch of, I don't know.
No, it feels good.
It does. But also it's that shared consciousness and the shared experience of people who you over time see at shows and you begin to trust them and you begin to develop really meaningful friendships and shit about all related to this, the same interests. And I know some of the greatest friendships that have developed in my life have been through music. Like real friendships with people who would rescue me when I need it, and I need a lot of rescuing all the time. And people who I would do the same thing. It's like, and I think these community environments are really good for that kind of thing. We all need rescuing and all need to rescue each other.
We all need a hand up, pretty much.
Yeah.
But well, we've got one thing that we wanted to do, which is a little bit more light-hearted.
Yeah.
This was Ciara's idea. We went out with our Australian mate the other day. He's come over from Perth.
Oh, mate.
And he was
going out with Australian mates.
The idea that we had is that he pulled up a whole bunch of different phrases that he was kind of spitting out throughout the night, and we're like, please explain it. So we're going to check if you're actually an Australian or not. This is a little quiz.
I'm very Australian.
Well, we'll see.
So I probably would have used when I was a little kid, I had the most fucking bogan accent you could possibly imagine.
Amazing.
I've learned to chill it out a lot.
Yeah.
But when I was young, it was really there. So I don't know who calls it a saucy roll, but I think that might be a WA thing. A servo is a service station, like a petrol station. So anything you'll see along any expressways like the M8, a sausage roll is a saucy roll, and dead horse is just a bit of shit meat. A slab of piss. You want a slab of VB, a carton of ale. It's a slab of beer, so a big fucking like a carton of beer.
Yeah.
And Winnie Blues. Winnie Blues are the working class cigarettes of Australia. My uncle Gordon, who lost his fingers in an accident, used to smoke them. Oh God, that's fucking vulgar. Isn't it? My mouth is as dry as a dead dingo's penis. The idea of a dead dingo makes me sad. Oh, you spat the dummy, you chuck a hissy fit, you lose your shit. It just means losing your temper.
4 out of 4, that's it. You're a real Australian.
Honestly, these are pretty surface level, mate. We have to get to some tier 3 and 4 Australianisms.
We don't know them. Do you have any particularly good ones you want to share?
Chuck as a dart.
Oh yeah, welcome. Oh yeah, I feel like I know that just because I'm a Kiwi.
What is
Give us a cigarette.
Yeah, give us a ciggy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think that's kind of a roundup of what we wanted to ask you, but what's coming up for Gang of Views? Where can people catch you?
London on the 12th, Brighton on the 13th, and we're heading to the US for 3 weeks, and then we'll be back doing a bunch of festivals and stuff.
Sick. What festivals are you guys doing?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? That's fine. We'll look out for
I know in the UK, I think we're doing Latitude and Citadel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but most of the stuff we're doing this year is in the United States.
All right, going back then.
Yeah, fair bit.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks so much for talking to us. It's been awesome. Have a great gig tonight.